Well, Tom, first of all, I'm here at one of the sites located right next to Freddy's Wine Spirit, and Tom, it's looking like something is coming right here.
About WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks is live in the studio with more. Nick.
Mayor Jimmy Smith calls gun violence a public health crisis, a crisis that continues to threaten every neighborhood in the Queen City. This is where it all started for Miss Mary Johnson. Right behind me is the house that she grew up in. And inside this house is where she faced a traumatic experience at the age of 8 years old that put her on a life of crime. She sold her body at a young age and even sold drugs. Lindsay, this area behind me had debris everywhere due to a 4-car collision. Here's what happened. That's right, Tom, here at the Methodist Senior Services here at Aldersgate, where there's a big event going on right behind me in those doors. And also to tell me more about what's going on, I have with me Miss Robin Stevenson, who is the Executive Director at Aldersgate. Tom, traffic is moving again, as you can see right behind me on westbound on I-20, but that wasn't the case earlier today. Now, here's how traffic looked on I-20 around 3 o'clock today.
Nicholas.
That's right, Tom. I talked with people who said they haven't seen anyone use this trail and are calling it a bad investment.
A Meridian woman changed her life of crime to preaching to inmates. Pastor Mary Johnson is a prison minister that works in a program of spiritual welfare that gives religious guidance for inmates in a correctional setting. WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks gives you more as he talked with Miss Johnson about coming from the streets to the pulpit.
Pastor Johnson still remembers the day she was sentenced to 16 years in prison. She had been in and out of trouble with the law for years, but one day it all caught up with her.
This is where survival comes in. I prostituted the streets. I did what I had to do. I was pimped out, pimped in, pimped over, pimped through this city, Meridian, Mississippi. Going into the clubs, robbing, doing whatever I had to do. Taking people's money, just doing whatever I had to do to make it.
This is where it all started for Miss Mary Johnson. Right behind me is the house that she grew up in. And inside this house is where she faced a traumatic experience at the age of 8 years old that put her on a life of crime. She sold her body at a young age and even sold drugs.
I was adopted into this family by my real father, but my mother that raised me couldn't have children. Every Saturday, mother would go out to the grocery store. I would be here and wait on the milkman. My father went a size 13D shoe, so you know he was a big man. Snatched me at the age of 8 years old off of my bed and molested me. I was bloody as a goat.
Johnson's awful experience led her down a path of crime that ended her up in prison. She went to prison in 1988, but it was in 1989 when she decided to turn her life around. One day, there was a prison minister that came to Johnson's cell that said to her,
"Hey, you, in cell block 6, God want to do something with you. God want to change your life."
This was the turning point for Johnson.
And I said, I cannot go back to Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi, the same way I left.
She kept her word and got her minister license in 1998. The good news didn't stop there. With good behavior, she was let go from prison in 2001.
And told me, pack my bags. And said, Mary, you're on your way home. You're leaving in the morning, going home. That was the best news that I could ever have heard. And I want you to know, I was so free on the inside.
Mary Johnson has been holding her ministries in county jails. She's been here at the Lauderdale County Detention Facility for over 20 years, preaching her messages in hopes to change inmates' lives.
They called me. The warden called me at Rankin County Prison. He said, we just got in 32 youthful offenders, Miss Mary. And they're all gang members, different gangs. And we can't do nothing with them. They said, will you come back to the prison and do the ministry? Do some ministry. Help us get these youth offenders under control.
That was Johnson's first big opportunity to put her preaching skills to the test. To this day, Johnson has continued to preach to inmates. She says anyone can turn their pain into power. In Meridian, Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11.
WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks is live at one of those future sites. So Nicholas, what's going on out there? Where are you?
Well, Tom, first of all, I'm here at one of the sites located right next to Freddy's Wine Spirit. And Tom, it's looking like something is coming right here. Now, for the drivers that have been driving around town, you may have noticed some construction being done in empty lots. Well, crews are laying down the foundation to welcome 3 new businesses. Next to Freddy's Wine Spirit, that's where I'm at right now, you can see a construction being built. And behind Jack's Restaurant, a building is already up. And on 29th Avenue behind the North Hills Dollar Tree, a vacant lot offers an opportunity to someone wanting to invest. 5 different pastors from different denomination backgrounds are coming together to praise outside with the community. Back in 2020, the same group of pastors held this event during COVID. They said that it helped many people that were going through a difficult time, and they're planning to help more people this year. The pastors are encouraging people to come out and to take a listen. They say that you never know what this event may do for you. And the event will be held at Dumont Plaza this Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But they'll do it for me live in the studio. Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11. Back to you, Emily, at the desk.
One person was injured and another is under arrest. After a wreck this morning, Meridian police pursued the driver of a vehicle reported stolen from a local business. WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks is live at the scene now. Nicholas, what can you tell us?
Lindsay, this area behind me had debris everywhere due to a 4-car collision. Here's what happened. Police say that a flatbed truck was stolen this morning from Daniels Roofing Company. Officers spotted the stolen truck on North Hills and tried to make a traffic stop. But the suspect drove away and ended up crashing into 3 other cars near Winn-Dixie after a high-speed chase. The suspect tried to run away but was taken down and put in handcuffs. This is the second flatbed truck stolen from a business in 3 days. Slate Steel also had a flatbed truck stolen Sunday. Now, police say that they don't know as of right now that the person that they arrested today is the same person that stole a flatbed truck from Slate Steel Sunday and drove it into the Silver Dollar pawn shop, causing the owner thousands of dollars worth of damage. But for now, live in Meridian, Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11. And back to you, Lindsay.
Okay, Nick, thanks a lot. We appreciate the reporting.
From on this, we turn to WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks, who's live in the studio.
Tom, the death of a Meridian police officer and a pregnant woman has people on edge. A crowd of people witnessed the aftermath of the shooting yesterday. We revisited the West Gates Hills neighborhood and talked with people who say they're not happy with the violence in the city. One woman shares how she knew Officer Kenneth Kroom and why she calls him a hero.
Really need to stop. It comes from the head. And all these officials that we vote in, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing with these guns? Too many cases, it's not been solved.
He was an officer for my own domestic violence case. From the moment he handled it on and off, he was helpful to me. He was beneficial. He became a close confidant. He was probably one of the best men that I can say that I've met. Didn't drink, didn't smoke, highly educated, bachelor's and master's. He cared. I think that is the defining, that is the definition, that's the difference. He cared.
Doris Anderson says Kroom was a true hero to her. Well, time to do it for me live in the studio. Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11.
A whole lot, Nicholas. Well, the community has a memorial place outside of the Meridian. More on their opinions. Nicholas.
That's right, Tom. I talked with people who said they haven't seen anyone use this trail and are calling it a bad investment. Some people who live along the Saratchi Creek in Lauderdale County are not happy with the bike trail project underway right now.
It's a waste of money. That's all it is.
This trail is meant for bicyclists, runners, and people just to get a good walk in. But many people that live in this area say this project is a waste of money.
It's a colossal waste of freaking money. They've been better off paving the streets than they are doing what they're doing here. All that is just a trail for robbery.
About WTOK News 11's Nicholas Brooks is live in the studio with more. Nick?
Mayor Jimmy Smith calls gun violence a public health crisis, a crisis that continues to threaten every neighborhood in the Queen City. The mayor says there's a spike in the use of high-powered semi-automatic weapons in Meridian. AK-47 guns like Uzis and Dracos are on the streets. Mayor Smith believes the guns are coming in the city illegally and are ending up in the hands of criminals. Police will obviously confiscate and secure a weapon if it's lost, stolen, or was involved in a crime.
We have a gun problem in our community, and I've been told that people feel like there's a gun source, an illegal gun source that's out there supplying these guns. And I believe that is so, because I've seen some guns that you don't normally see on the street.
I think there's a gun problem nationwide. I don't think it's just here in Meridian. Yes, we have seen Uzis, we've seen AR-15s, Dracos. We've seen different ones over the last several years. Is it common? I wouldn't say it's common, but they are out there.
Obviously, owning a high-powered weapon is not a crime in Mississippi. We'll talk to a local expert at 6. She'll walk us through the steps of legally owning a gun like an AR-15. But for now, Lindsay, live in the studio, Nicholas Brooks, WTOK News 11, back to you at the desk.
Okay, Nicholas, thank you. A chilly start